Let's see. They delivered a new subject for me. How peculiar. Haven't seen one of you before. Let's see, what is it? Subject T829. No mention of your origins. They found you stranded deep into the city. This will be quite fun. It seems like he was similar design as most humans. There's no mention of immediate dangers. Subject, are you able to understand me? Seems like there's some recognition. Possibly understanding that I'm speaking, however, is failing to understand exactly what I'm saying. Let's see. Test 1, intelligence scale. Subject, if you can understand me, can you move your head? Nod it up and down. Possible understanding to an extent. Subject, can you speak at all? Unfortunate. Subject is either unwilling or unable to speak. We will further check for any further developments. Alright. Now, subject, just in case you're able to understand me, I'll let you know what we will be doing for your first experiment. See, I'm going to take a blood sample from you. It will be a very gentle poke, nothing too painful. While it does seem like you have tougher skin, we prepared a special needle for you. Although I'm aware you are quite sedated. And overall quite not fully there at the moment. I truly ask for you to try your best. This will disinfect the area. I need you to hold very still for me. Now this might be a little cold. And when I go in with this needle, I'm going to say a minor poke. Just to hold still for me. Now, quite interesting, your blood seems rather quite clear. A minor yellow tinge. Quite unique. I plan on testing to see if it has any acidic properties. this will cause a minor reaction of bubbling if it does. Hopefully you don't have any. However, just in case, we never truly know. There does seem to be some minor particles forming. It's not fully settling now for what we would expect. A little cloudy. I do have reason to believe that you may have some minor acidity in your blood. I'll be sending this in for the labs to take a look. We may need to have a little bit more. You won't mind, correct? Perfect. Let's see. It was quite difficult to poke the actual needle into you. However, before we move on, I will disinfect the area one more time, as I'm unsure if your kind have any specific diseases or health concerns. The subject seems to have minor acidity within blood. When mixed with the agent, particles were visible. Let's see here. For our next little exam, we'll be testing the overall hardness of your skin. While I was able to puncture you with that needle, it was not without any trouble. You do have quite the interesting external membranes. So hopefully, without too much pain, I'm going to be scraping off some minor levels of skin. Hold still. See, it's a good chunk. Quite interesting, this external section. While it's almost a similar property of wood, you can still see the traces of life underneath. It does seem to be quite thick for a normal external membrane. Possibly subject has harder external skin, possibly in a climate needed for high defense. However, it is still soft enough to puncture with needles at specific angles. ideally where veins are visible. Although you did show some minor signs of discomfort, there's nothing that's too concerning. Could be an effect of the sedative. Let's see here. I'd like to do a little experiment to see the overall compounds of what makes you. I will be using this container to see how the overall removed portion of you will react when exposed to different chemicals. Ideally, we can use this to reverse this information and figure out exactly what type of species you fall under. This will allow us to further see if you would be a considered predator or prey where you originate from. Giving room for more needed experiments. There seems to be some minor oxidization occurring. Nothing too unexpected. Some particles flaking off. We'll see when we add the reactant to this mixture. Typically speaking, if it will bubble or fizz in any way whatsoever, it shows that your body is made up more of a basic build, which would be quite interesting considering the acidity of your blood. Very well. It's quite interesting. While initially, I believe you had more of a acidic compound based on the initial oxidization, flaking of everything, as well as of your blood. Something quite unexpected. We will seal this up and send this in for further examination. Very good. Now you do seem to be showing some discomfort. Subject, you don't seem too fond of what's currently happening. Either the sedative is wearing off, or you're more rugged than initially expected. Test subject grows uncomfort with prolonged experiments. Interesting. Well, I won't hold you too long then. I don't want you getting too rowdy or too difficult for my coworkers and I. We can always come back and experiment a little more. Then for our last test, this is hydrogen peroxide. Typically speaking, if it is consumed, you would be quite endangered. However, if it merely just goes on your skin, you may have some irritation and a minor burning. Given the overall delicate nature of your skin and the previous exams, if my theory is correct, I don't believe you would have any burns or pain from this. So we're just going to add a small amount in and expose it to you. Just to ideally see how you react. Now, subject again. I truly believe you can understand me, and you were just choosing to ignore me. So, if you can truly understand me, but choose not to respond, this will probably be one of the last chances, if this does cause pain, for you to allow me and let me know. We will be mainly looking for the discomfort of your reaction to this being added onto you. Your real test subject, please hold still. I'm just applying a minor amount, hopefully nothing too painful. Let's see. No immediate reaction. I'll just have to take some time for it to seep through, since you do have thicker skin than we typically find. Mild discomfort, nothing too critical. Very well. It doesn't seem like you're having a reaction to this. No pain, no visual reaction, no discoloration. Subject, overall skin contains an ability to resist 3% hydrogen peroxide, either not high enough dosage or a biological factor, which is currently unknown. Further testing is needed to discover origins of the subject. Initial initial blood has been taken and beginning exams for external characteristics. Very well, subject. Well, I believe we'll be sending you back to your cell for further examination. However, we will give you a small break for now. I will most likely see you quite soon, where we will be performing a few more in-depth experiments. Seems like quite the fun challenge for me and my coworkers. Well, this is where I leave, and a few of my coworkers may come in now. I hope to see you again soon, subject.